Good evening, Lawrence and beyond. Once again, we are live out at the North Lawrence City Ran support site. That is pretty, geez, the comparison to a concentration camp isn't too far off anymore. The reason I'm here tonight is to literally prevent the cover-up, because today I filed a police report with police regarding the site supervisor, Ron Zahorik, out here condoning violence, basically green lighting people to retribute, to enact retribution against somebody else. I had two different people go on record with me saying that it had happened, and one of those events was just today, and I was out here and there was a argument going on. I was out here just out here doing my thing, and all of a sudden this argument starts kicking off, and I see Ron over there in between it, and doing a great job, getting in between them and keep them under control. And I even helped him de-escalate that situation, and everything was fine. We said thanks to each other, and I made some suggestions about maybe not threatening PD so quick. That's kind of a stressor. We can calm things down without threatening people with police all the time. But right after that, one of those individuals who Ron had spoken to says to me, he says, "You know what Ron just said to me?" I said, "What?" He says, "So wait till Michael's camera leaves and then take him out of the camera view." And this is the site supervisor telling somebody out here that, yeah, wait till the cameras aren't watching and then go beat the hell out of him. Now that's interesting because, Ron had several issues with this guy today, the guy that was the person that was going to get beat up over this. But Ron had several issues with him, so I can't doubt that he probably wanted it handled, but that's not the way you handle it. Now, on top of that, I want to remind everybody, now that was the first one, but while we're on this one, during that conversation, Ron is standing with the guy and I over there near that white tent that you see. Now, I want to remind you that that white tent is on private property. That's on Caw Valley's Drainage District property. And Ron threatened to trespass this guy, and I just had to interject and say, dude, you're threatening a trespass that you have no authority to effect. And he got a little irritated that I did that, but dude, you don't have the authority to trespass off private property, so shut the fuck up. But right after I talked to this other guy, this one guy that says, hey, Ron just told me wait till Mike leaves, wait till the cameras are off, or wait till you're out of camera view, and then, whatever. Another guy, as I'm leaving, wants a ride down to the library. No big deal. I'll give him a ride down to the library. But he jumps in the truck and asks me, what was all that about? And I said, oh, Ron said something to the guy about, wait until the cameras leave and then he could beat him up or something. And lo and behold, the guy says, oh yeah, that shit happens all the time. Let me tell you about this. And he literally told me about a time that Ron was there, and he said, I think the words that he said, and I'll end up making this stuff public. We're going to give the police a couple days to see what they want to do with it and see how the city wants to handle it. But I'll tell you what, a site supervisor that is allowing violence out here between the residents, screw that. Cicely Thornton, he needs to be fired right now. I don't give a damn what your schedule says. I want that guy out of here, because if he's inciting violence between these residents, fuck him. Okay? But this other guy said, oh yeah, it happens all the time, and tells me about somebody spilling some hot stuff on his dog, and the dog yips. And he's mad, and he says something to Ron about, man, I'm gonna beat that motherfucker, and blah, blah, blah. And looks up at Ron, Ron, you gonna give me the green light? And apparently Ron just says, I didn't see anything. This is the site fucking supervisor out here, city leaders. Your site fucking supervisor is out here condoning violence and allowing it to happen. Now, if you don't want me to get mad and come into city meetings and scream and yell at you, then pull your fucking heads out of your asses. How do you have a guy out here with 44 felonies that just in the last few days started wearing closed-toed shoes because I called him out on my YouTube channel? You can't do anything right out here until somebody calls you out, and we're fucking sick of it. So your supervisor out here condoning violence is done, and he needs to go. I filed the police report, and I expect it to go somewhere. The police couldn't do a whole lot as far as that goes. They have to submit it to the DA and determine what crime is there. But the police did comment that if it's not a crime, it's a HR matter. So this is a pretty fucking serious HR matter. When you got a site supervisor at a place that's supposed to be helping people that are, you know, downtrodden all the time, and your site supervisor is out here inciting violence. That shit's got to end. Hey guys. Let people pass by here. But I'm not kidding. The reaction, no. And Cicely, you know, again, I'm going to reiterate this. Cicely calls me the other day and wants me to do a favor for her. Bullshit. Don't fucking call me and want me to do favors when your site supervisor is out here inciting violence and you've got me trespassed out of here. Screw that. But you know what? I went ahead and helped the guy that she was trying to get help for, and he's a good dude that just needed a little help. I don't have a problem helping him, but Cicely, don't you ever fucking ring my phone again. You know, not asking for a favor. If you want to call me and we want to talk about settling some things out here and getting this camp back in the way it should be, and you guys start treating people right and not criminalizing people, you know, there's a lot of people out here very upset that Vance is not able to be here and protect them because you've criminalized him too, over him defending this camp. And this is all just within the last few days, guys. Within the last few days. This is not how you do this. And I think that our people in town, our homeless experts, I mean, Misty, I've never met you, but I hope you realize that what's happening out here can't continue to happen. I've never met you, so I'm not going to prejudge you, but this has got to stop. And Leah, I think you know this needs to stop as well. There's no way this can continue. This is just undignified, unhealthy, insanity. But Lawrence people, I'm telling you right now that your site supervisor is out here inciting violence. Not necessarily, well, I'm not necessarily going to say inciting because that's not quite accurate. He's not inciting it. He's looking the other way. And he's allowing it to go on when he has a responsibility to keep things safe out here and keep things calm. But his choice is to either let them beat the hell out of each other or call police and have them arrested. Yep, that's how we roll. So you guys in town, if this is not okay with you, it's time to start speaking out. And it's been past time for you to start speaking out. If this is not okay with you, it's time to step up and do something about it. You've got to call down to City Hall. You've got to let your commissioners know. You need to let that idiot Craig Owens know what's going on out here because I don't think he's ever actually been out here. You need to let Chad Lawhorn at the Lawrence Journal World know what the camp actually looks like because he keeps wanting to use a picture of all nice and happy that they had back when it was first set up. You know, and then he wants to keep spinning stories in his paper to criminalize everything out here and make these people out to be the bad people of the group. When the reality is the city accepted a responsibility, the city's failed that responsibility, and all the city wants to do is blame other people for it. That's bullshit. And if you guys don't want people mad at City Hall, change the way you're doing it. Guys, I kid you not, at the last City Hall meeting, they decided that they were going to try, or at least discuss, removing public comment, apparently. I haven't gone back and watched it, but this is what somebody told me at the very end of the meeting last night. They literally talked about removing public comment. And you know, my comment to that was, these little rule changes that you guys are doing, I can't really do much about that. I can bitch about it and everything, but you do something overt to stifle the people, I'm coming. I'm telling you right now, you do something overt to stifle the people, I'm coming. No overt action to shut us down because we have reason to be angry and we have reason to be down there with pitchforks and torches. And you're damn lucky this ain't the 1800s. You fuckers would be strung up and run out of town. This is bullshit and it needs to end. Anybody got any questions? I'm a little ramped up tonight. Because when I find out that the supervisor out here is inciting violence, no, I can't even believe that was allowed to go on. And I say inciting, and I got to correct myself because it's not inciting, it's condoning and looking the other way. And to me, that's just as bad. It might as well be inciting. And this story is kind of getting around. You know, I'm not shy about telling people because I'll tell people what I did and I'll make it known. And that's why I'm making it known, because I don't want it to be shoved under the covers and let's not get anything covered and not get anything taken care of. But you can find a new site supervisor out here. I might recommend somebody that has some sense on their head. And you staff members out there that think I'm just out here to make content, I'm not monetizing this. I'm not making a dime off of this. And I could be doing other things. I could be home with my wife right now watching TV or just sitting there doing nothing. But I choose to be out here because the city. So I thought I hit do not disturb, but I got a phone call in the middle of that. Am I still on? Anybody help me there? Am I still on? Had a phone call interrupt. But anyway, I'm gonna assume I'm not fun right now. No, it's not for right now. Yep, still on. Okay, good. But no, I need you guys. You guys in Lawrence, you need to call. You need to show up. So honestly, for the last 2 meetings that I've gone to, somebody has come up to me and said, "Hey, man, I'm at my first city commission meeting because I was watching your videos." And you know, city leaders, you guys need to pay attention. You can prejudge what I'm doing out here and think I'm just out here for content, but this thing's going to get away from you. And I said earlier that the time for putting out the fire is now, because you're not going to be able to put it out once it really gets going. Because there's going to come a time where this bullshit ends and action starts happening. And if you guys aren't going to take it, other people are. That I assure you. Because we're not going to continue to stand for site supervisors condoning violence out here and condoning people attacking others and retribution. Not doing it. Guys, you have any questions about the camp out here? Anybody in Lawrence that's got a question out here that you think that it's one way and you want to find out if it really is, put it in there. Put it in the chat. And if I can, I'll walk down and I'll show you exactly what the answer is. There's a woman in here right now that doesn't feel safe because I'm not even going to go into that because, wow. This is just a messed up situation, guys. Just a messed up situation. And it's no wonder that it's run so shitty when the site supervisor condones violence. I mean, what do you expect out of a guy like that? This is a power thing for him. He's never had this much power before in his life, and he's enjoying it. Dude ran a restaurant downtown, didn't make that. I guess COVID shut him down or something. But he come out here and, you know, his 25, 30 bucks an hour he's making as a site supervisor, enjoying watching people fight. No. Are there any staff there tonight? Yeah, there's a couple staff members here tonight, and that's an interesting one. I came out here last night around 10, 30, 11 o'clock just to check. And the second shift staff apparently had waited until the next guy got here because they were here a little later than they probably would have been. And Big Wub, he was here. And as I walked by his truck, I kind of stuck my hand up by his grill to feel how hot it was. And it wasn't very hot, so he'd been there for a little bit. But yeah, they're keeping this sucker staffed now. The other night when we went live and it only took 35 minutes to get somebody out here, I'm pretty sure there was some discussions that happened about staffing that night. Because remember, that was the night that they had some other stuff going on out here. And that was, I believe, was that the night Vance was arrested? Actually, it was, wasn't it? It was the night that Vance was arrested for defending his camp, and they had left this place unstaffed at night. But yeah, there's staff here now. They've been cautious to keep staff out here. They know I'm coming out to look, and they know if there's not going to be staff out here, that somebody better do something. Because I've got people out here now that are going to call me and tell me when staff is here. I can text somebody out here and just ask if staff is here, and I'll get a text back, yes or no. So how you like them apples, people? So you better keep this place staffed up, because they will tell me. Any other questions, guys? I got about 5 more minutes before I'm going to sign off here. But if there's any other questions from Lawrence people, any of you got any real questions, but I'd really like to hear from the Lawrence people and help dispel some myths out here. Because the Lawrence Journal-World is not telling you the accurate story. They are spinning the police narrative in almost every story they write. There was a story in the Lawrence Journal-World yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I believe it was yesterday, about the showers and about the city partnering with a faith group to provide showers. And during that, they allowed the city spokesman to insert a statement in their story talking about how they provide these shower trailers out here. But it was interesting, the Lawrence Journal-World failed to mention how those shower trailers are permanently closed because the staff couldn't maintain their property better and keep an eye on high-priced assets that the city's acquired with tax funds from the federal government. So we just waste that money. But yeah, Chad forgot to cover any of that, so I sent him an email yesterday. Now the interesting thing is he very rarely responds to anything I send. But this time I decided to go ahead and copy it over to the other newspaper so that they knew too. Funny, that motherfucker's correcting his story today and asking questions downtown. Chad, maybe if you ask those questions first and get your fucking story right before you run it, you won't have to do corrections, because you and I are going to be working through some corrections in your newspaper over the coming months, unless you get your shit together. Because I know what's going on out here, and your reporters don't come out here. And I haven't seen your reporters out here. I'm sure they come up on the levee and take a picture, but when was the last time they've actually gone down and talked to people at the camp? Or are your reporters too scared? Are they just scared? They got this false myth that all these people are going to kill them? Pull your head out, man. Pull your head out. But no, me and Chad Lawhorn are going to have some fun over the coming months. He's going to start learning how to run a newspaper that actually reports for the people and reports some real news, instead of just the bullshit that Laura McCabe wants to spin. All right, news media needs to start being accountable and cite their sources, in your opinion. That's right. That's right. Most of my sources are right here on this freaking video that you can see. You know, not too often do I claim something that I don't have a video that backs it up. But you know, the police will do that shit and then say, well, we can't release the video because it's an investigative record. How's that help us? Doesn't. I'll show you my videos. Matter of fact, the video evidence that I'm submitting to LPD, I haven't actually used their little link yet, but the video evidence that I'm submitting to them, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to everybody, because this is Douglas County transparency and Lawrence accountability. Peace out.